Yeah, this morning the Lakers decided to fire Mike Brown. It was a real quick hook, but it was a unanimous hook on the part of their management and ownership after watching the way they got off to a 1-4 season, and not just the record, but the way the team had playing. It just didn't look like they were making progress, and something clearly wasn't right.
Ramona, yesterday when we spoke, you said Jim Buss would be looking for something. He wasn't sure, clearly unhappy with the 1-4 start, also winless in the preseason, but he was looking for something this homestand. Why did they decide not to even give Mike the homestand to try?
Yeah, I think what happened was after watching them play against the Utah Jazz and then having a series of meetings between Jim Buss, Dr. Jerry Buss, Mitch Kupchak, and everyone involved, I think they all kind of came to the conclusion that this wasn't just an isolated problem. This wasn't just one game or a couple of games here. This was what had been happening with this team, not only this year but last year. And I think they just hadn't seen enough progress. They hadn't seen like it was going in the right direction. And the Laker organization as a whole is not the kind of organization that's going to sit back and waste a month of the season while a team figures it out. I mean, it's one thing to have patience. It's another thing to throw away an entire month of the season, which is the way they felt this was going.
And how did they weigh the idea of firing him with the fact he's really only had Steve Nash for a game and a half of this season?
I think they got to know Mike Brown more than just what happened this year. I mean, Mike Brown was the coach all of last year. They've gotten to know him all through preseason and training camp, and I think you look at this team and it's a $100 million payroll, and it was built to win now. I mean, that's the thing that the Lakers management and ownership has continued to stress, is that this team is not constructed to win next year. It's constructed to win this year. And if to start doing that, you got to feel like it's heading in the right direction. And all three people who make this decision very clearly felt that it wasn't.
How about Kobe Bryant? We heard him say yesterday, I'm too old to be answering these questions about his death stare to his coach. And in fact, he is getting up there in age. And like you said, he's ready to win now, and he needs to win now. Does Kobe Bryant have a say in how much of a say does he have when a decision like this is made?
I think at some point Kobe Bryant will have a say in things, but I'm actually positive that he didn't have a say in this decision because it was made so quickly. I mean, what I had been told over the last few days is that this homestand coming up was the critical juncture, that they were going to evaluate how the team looked during the homestand and to see if they were going forward. That was the assumption everybody around the Lakers seemed to be operating under. And I'm pretty sure that this news that came down, that happened this morning, literally just minutes ago, before the team had its shoot around. They have a game tonight against the. God, I can't even remember. The Golden State
Warriors, yes.
They have a game tonight against the Warriors, and they're at shoot-around. And, you have to make that decision before shoot-around, obviously. The decision came as a surprise to the players. But it happened this quickly.
It did come as a surprise to the players. Who is coaching them tonight, and who's their short-term solution and long-term solution? What are some of the names you're hearing?
The two names I'm hearing is it'll be either Bernie Bickerstaff or Chuck Person. Those are assistant coaches on the staff right now, and it's an internal decision that's taking place right now. But on an interim basis, it'll be one of those two guys.
And how about long-term? Any names out there?
Well, there's a lot of names out there, right? I mean, all the usual suspects. You hear, Mike D'Antoni, but there's going to be a lot of talk about Phil Jackson, of course. There's Jerry Sloan who's available. I don't know exactly how they're thinking right now because the decision was made pretty quickly. It was made last night, and it was carried out this morning. And I don't know what they're thinking long term. I think they're just trying to find someone to coach the game tonight, and that'll either be Bernie or Chuck.
And do we assume with scrapping Coach Brown, they're also getting rid of this Princeton offense they're trying to instill?
I don't think that decision's been made. I honestly don't. And I don't think they're going to scrap anything. I think this was something that was the decision between everybody who makes that decision was made pretty quickly last night. And I think the rest of it will be what offense they run, what defense they run, but will be made by whomever is coaching the team going forward. But as of about 30 minutes ago, that's no longer Mike Brown.
It seems like such a big swing. I mean, just a year ago, year one of his contract, and Jay went over the numbers moments ago. I mean, it's a big contract they gave Coach Brown, and now they're, like you said, the quick hook. What did they expect from Coach Brown that they never saw?
I think Mike Brown came to Los Angeles with a reputation of being a defensive mastermind, and the one thing that you never saw them do was play really good defense. That didn't translate. He came here with a reputation of being, it's not even a reputation. The man works harder than almost anybody I've ever seen. And the other night when they lost to the Utah Jazz, he didn't just go home. He drove to his office at Staples Center, stayed up all night, and then slept on an air mattress before coming back to the practice facility and working with the team for practice. I mean, he is well prepared. He works really hard. I think in some ways, he might have overcoached the team. I think he might have been trying too hard. But really, if you look at it, the Lakers, coaching is a tough business, but coaching the Lakers is something else entirely. And I think the job probably was just too big for Mike, and I think they finally realized that.
What was the team's reaction when they heard today? I heard you say they were surprised, but I mean, what was the relationship between coach and team at this point? Will they be upset by it, or they just want to win?
I think this team just wants to win. I mean, obviously this team has a personal relationship with Mike Brown, but this was an uneasy marriage from the start, right? I mean, he came in to follow Phil Jackson. He was beloved by all the players, and since then it's been sort of nothing but upheaval and turmoil, right? I mean, the failed Chris Paul trade. He takes the reins of the team officially when the lockout ends. Chris Paul was traded and then not traded to the Lakers. His first day of training camp, Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom are meeting Mitch Kupchak up in an office trying to soothe those angry feelings. I mean, he really didn't get the best hand in terms of taking over the Lakers and the way that you would want to be able to put your stamp on a team and on a franchise. He had a second chance this year with a longer training camp, and you think with more time to be able to put in what he wanted to put in to command the room, that would help. But I don't think he was ever able to do that, and I don't think he was ever able to connect in that way.
Ramona Shelburne. Thanks, Ramona, for joining us. If you want to read about the Lakers, you read Ramona on ESPNLA.com. An uneasy marriage, a job just too big for him, and eventually the quick hook, to put it in your words. Thanks again.